Welcome everyone to German Tool Reviews. Part of why I know I will never run out of tools to review for this channel is because there are a ton of smaller tool companies that most people have never come across. I've heard about Schmitz pliers with the understanding that they are made more for specialty and high-end electronics work. I happened to find this pair of side cutters on Amazon of all places, so I decided to go ahead and pick up a pair to see how I like it before looking into any of their higher end products. My belief is that Schmitz is more of an OEM that makes rebranded products for a lot of some of the bigger tool brands. A lot of their products look very similar to those offered by Knipex and Ghidorah. These are actually all made in Germany by Schmitz. They have an interesting video on their YouTube channel that shows the assembly of the box joint, where you see one side heated up using an induction coil, then put into a jig to form the joint, and then another to press them together. I will say that's a pretty brave assembler to be doing this operation without gloves all day. The particular model I picked up is the 3203 HS22 side cutters. Electronic side cutters like these are strictly for light duty work and should never be used on hardened wire or cable. There are versions out there with tungsten carbide inserts that can be used on higher capacity material, but these are the standard pair. What we're going to do today is just take a quick first look at these, as miniature side cutters like these really need a long-term test to determine how well they hold up over time. I've had small side cutters like this that only last a couple of months and others that last many decades. Looking at the catalog entry for these, we can see there are actually many different options for this particular series. The first 4 digits determine the cutter geometry, with the 3 styles being a normal bevel, fine bevel, and one without a bevel for a flush cut. I picked up the one without a bevel as I like to use these most often for flush cutting zip ties. The flush style does reduce the cutting capacity slightly. You will see the capacities listed in the catalog here for both medium and soft wire. The catalog defines medium wire as soft iron or nails, and soft wire as copper or aluminum. As noted in the catalog, the capacity is 12 American wide gauge for medium wire and 15 American wide gauge for soft wire, which is about what I expect for side cutters in this length. The last 3 digits determine the handle style for the unit, with 3 options available: the 2-component, plastic, and PVC dipped. All are apparently ESD safe according to the catalog. I chose the 2-component version. These side cutters are rated for use in ESD applications, meaning that the materials used in the handles will not build up a charge as you use them. I know that it's not a universal standard, but I've been noticing most companies now use yellow as an indicator that a tool is ESD safe. But from what I've seen so far, all pliers in this range use ESD safe handles, thereby not necessarily needing any differentiation in the handle style for this brand. Indicated on the handle are the cutting capacities for the medium and soft wire. I do like how they put both the metric and imperial values here, but it would have been nice to see the words medium and soft in English in here as well. Since they're using abbreviations here for these 2 words, it took me a second to realize what they actually meant. Possibly listing the tensile strength may be a better way to convey this information, since medium and soft definitions are subjective to an outside observer. As noted, you should never use these to cut, harden, or spring steel, as it will damage the edges of the cutters. First thing I noticed about the blades is the large gap in the portion closest to the joint. I know that there needs to be some material taken away from this area to make them close correctly, but this seems a bit extreme. It means you definitely can't use this portion of the jaws to cut anything. I do like the polished chrome finish on these. I know it's not something you typically see on German-made pliers, as most companies tend to go with a more matte chrome finish. What I've typically used in the past are these side cutters made in Italy. You can buy them under a number of brands. Since they are so cheap, I usually just buy another one every so often when I wear out the jaws on the old one. The wearing out of the jaws on these Italian-made ones really are my fault because I end up using them on hard materials, which I'm not supposed to do. I bought a Ghidorah branded model to replace the red ones, which are on their last legs. I don't know who actually makes these, so if anyone knows who the OEM for these is, leave a comment below. Far and away, the thing that I use these type of side cutters for is trimming zip ties. I know there are special tools out there for doing this, but there's often not enough room where you're working to get those tools in there, and I end up using the flush side cutters anyway. Comparing the cut with the 2 side cutters, it definitely felt like the Schmitz pliers got a bit closer than my older Italian-made side cutters. I also use these a lot for the opposite purpose, removing cable ties. Because precision side cutters like this take a little bit of time to wear out, I'm going to hopefully revisit these in the future to see how they're holding up. This review is more of a first impression of the pliers. I definitely like the handles, the finish, and the smoothness of the joint from the Schmitz cutters. I'm just going to have to remember not to use these on any hard materials. Hopefully you enjoyed that first look at the Schmitz electronic side cutters. Check out the link in the description below to the full review. There are also some affiliate links in the description if you're urged to pick any of these units up. Have a good week, and I'll catch you guys next time.